Good morning, dear parents. It's my privilege to welcome you for this a short seminar-like workshop trying to enlighten about the new education policy 2020. It is well known as the National Education Policy 2020. So before we start the topic, I just want to brief what is education. Education is the fundamental essence for all humanity. It is also the fundamental essential for all achievements, whether it is in the aspect of business, science, technology, or whatever we may think about the human civilization. Education is the most fundamental aspect. It helps the humans to develop its fullest potential that God has given to every human being. Therefore, a society, particularly a civilized society, cannot afford to lose a quality education. And that is why we have in our constitution very clearly defined about the importance of education. Initially, and even till now, education was a state subject and is a state subject. Why? Because the state government could reach to the grassroots level for creating an environment of educating all its citizens. Therefore, education has been given to the state to bring about all required changes in its system. However, the intentions were very good, but each state's government started choreographing its own policy, and there's a wide range of education syllabus, curriculum that exists in our country. Right from Kashmir till Kanyakumari, right from Dwarka to Shillong, we find different patterns of education, different syllabus, different curriculum. In all these things, what we find, there's a great disparity of the policy of a national consensus. There's a different disparity of the standard of bifurcation, the benchmark of education with different categories. Therefore, when the students come to the level of competition, they find a lot of inability to cope up with the kind of questions that's posed by the competitive authorities. And that has not done good to a national curriculum or a national subject on education. Indeed, now we find a lot of development in science, technology, and more so in the employment topography, where we find things are very different than from the traditional ways. Therefore, to cope up with this changing scenario in the socio-economic system of India, the present government tried to bring about a new policy in education, which is not a state-oriented subject, but the term is given as a National Education Policy 2020. It enshrines the interest of a single nation, regardless of the interest of each state. And this really tries to bring about the best in a student's potential of changing situations, changing scenarios, changing scientific temperament, and the challenges that is coming up in the global scenario, global economic system, global employment system, and therefore a national education policy was very essential to bring about a unified code of conduct, to make every student by 2040 second to none in the global system. For this purpose, the syllabus and the curriculum was structured right from child care education till the college education, so that a student will be self-reliant. And the question is not a student should learn, but the question is a student will how to learn. And to bring about the system how to learn, the government has enshrined and envisaged a policy which we call it as National Education Policy 2020. There are a lot of aspects to this education system. It fully changes the existing traditional conservative system of education, which brings about degrees and certificates without knowing and without having any experience to what they learn, memorize like a parrot. And it has envisaged, it has a vision to strengthen as well as to make a student self-reliant in every aspect of life. So the academic aspect of the changing system and the new education policy, I invite Tanuja Madam to come and take the time, and she will systematically and authentically will explain what are the changing scenarios in this new education policy 2020. Tanuja Madam.
Thank you very much, sir. Very good morning and warm greetings to one and all. I welcome you all for today's session. I'm here to brief you all about the new education policy 2020 put forth by the Union Cabinet. To begin with, education is a lifelong learning process, and education is nothing but a fundamental for achieving human potential, developing an equitable and just society, and promoting national development. Now, let me slightly brief you about what is this National Education Policy. Now, National Education Policy, it is nothing but a comprehensive framework to guide the development of education in the country. The need of this policy initially was felt in the year 1964, and the first National Education Policy came up in 1968. Thereafter, the second education policy came up in 1986, which was further revised in 1992. And after 34 years, that is in 2020, the new education policy has come up. The aim of this education policy is mainly to have India a global knowledge superpower. It lays practical emphasis on the development of creative potential of the individuals. The rich heritage of ancient and eternal Indian knowledge and thoughts has been a guiding light for this policy. This is the main crust for developing the new education policy, that is 2020. Now, this policy has given different reforms. Different structures have been laid out. And the first one is the present 10+2 structure in school education will be modified with a new pedagogical and curricular restructuring as 5+3+3+4 system of schooling pattern, which covers the age group of students from 3 to 18 years. At present, we are having a system 10+2. This 10+2 is modified as 5+3+3+4. And each stage has its own significance. The 4 stages are, the first one is the foundational stage, the preparatory stage, middle school stage, and the secondary stage. Now the foundational stage, it will have the students from age group of 3 to 8 years, and it's a duration of 5 years. In this 5 years, you'll be having the pre-primary schooling consisting of 3 years and standard first and second. So in this way, there are total 5 years duration for the foundation course. During the foundation course, importance will mainly be given to the mother tongue of the student, and mainly the learning will be through activities, and play and learn method will be adopted. Thereafter, the next stage is the preparatory stage. This includes the students from age group 8 to 11 years. And the duration of this foundation preparatory stage is 3 years. And it will have classes 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Thereafter, we have the next stage, that is the middle school stage. The duration of this middle school stage is 3 years, and it will include standard 6th, 7th, and 8th. The age group of the students for middle school stage will be 11 to 14 years. Mainly in this middle school stage, vocational training, computer coding will be taught to the students of class 6th onwards. As a result, they will be able to develop software and application from their early age. If any student wants to take practical experience in their field of interest like gardening, carpentry, painting, coding, etc., they can take this training from the experts during the period of their schooling. Thereafter comes the next phase, that is the secondary phase. It will have a duration of 4 years. The age group will be from 14 to 18 years. These 4 years of the secondary stage is divided into 2 phases. Phase 1 will have the classes 9th and 10th, and phase 2 standard 11th and 12th. In this secondary stage, there is no bifurcation of like arts, commerce, science. There is no stream system in this case. A student can opt for any subject of any stream of his or her interest. Like for example, he or she can continue or have a combination of subjects like physics along with history or accountancy. So they can have their own set of combinations for their further studies. Thereafter, the learning during these 4 stages, that is foundation, preparatory, middle, and secondary, is going to be holistic learning. Now, holistic learning over here, mainly that means there is not going to be any hard separation between curricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular activities among arts, humanities, and science, or between vocational or academic stream. Subjects like physical education, art and craft, vocational skills, in addition to science, humanities, and mathematics, will be incorporated throughout the school curriculum with consideration for what is interesting and safe at each state. Wherever possible, medium of instruction, at least till grade 5, will preferably be the local language, mother tongue, or either regional language. Now, after having about these 4 stages, now how is going to be the examination pattern? Let's have a look at that now. To track the progress throughout the school years and not just at the end of grade 10 and 12 for the benefit of students, parents, teachers, principals, and entire schooling system at large. All the students will take up examination mainly at grade 3, 5, and 8, which will be conducted by appropriate authorities. These examinations will test the achievement of basic learning outcome through assessment or core concepts and the knowledge from the national and local curricula, along with relevant higher order skills and application of knowledge in real life situation rather than mugging up or rote memorization. There will be variable models for board examination like annual, semester, modular exams. Importance of board exam to be reduced. Exams can be conducted twice a year. Once the exams are over, next is the result. Now, how is going to be the result pattern? The progress card will be holistic, 360 degrees, multi-dimensional report card that reflects in great detail the progress as well as the uniqueness of each learner in cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. It will include self-assessment along with peer assessment and progress of child in project-based and inquiry-based learning, quiz, role plays, group activities, portfolios, along with teachers' assessment. The holistic card will form a link between the home and the school and will be accompanied by parents teachers meeting in order to actively improve the holistic development of the student. Now this final report card, as already said, it will be having both quantitative as well as qualitative assessment of the students. Thereafter, let's have a look at the higher education part. Now, higher education system, it will mainly be having multiple entry and multiple exit program. Now, what does this mean? Now, for 4 years bachelor's degree course, in case if you would like to drop out after 1 year, you will be getting a certificate. Now, how the certificates would be given? If you exit after 1 year, student will get a course certificate. In case if you feel after 2nd year, I don't want to continue this course and my liking is something else, if you exit after 2nd year, you'll be getting a diploma certificate. On exit, on doing 3 years course, student will get bachelor's degree certificate, and on completion of full course, a student will get bachelor's certificate along with research certificate. Now, along with this, there is also provision for academic bank of credits to be established to facilitate transfer of credits. Now, to have entry for the various colleges, now different agencies have been set up, like the NTA, that is National Testing Agency, to offer common entrance exam to colleges for admission to various courses. Gradually, the MPhil courses will be discontinued and all the other courses, that is the undergraduate, postgraduate, and MPhil, will now be interdisciplinary courses. Now, interdisciplinary courses, what does this mean? Now, if you are pursuing your engineering degree, and in case if you have liking for some subject like painting or designing, you can, along with your engineering, you can pursue for the painting or the designing course also. So for this, different universities are set up, that is the MERUs, that is Multidisciplinary Education and Research University, which are at par with IITs, IIMs, to set up as a model of best multidisciplinary education of global standard in the country. So this is about the higher education. Now, lastly, I would just like to sum up by saying that any policy effectiveness depends on its implementation, Such implementation will require multiple initiatives and actions which will have to be taken by multiple bodies in a synchronized and systematic manner. To make this policy a success, various steps like teachers training program, developing educational apps, awareness of the new policy, all these activities are in progress. Lastly, students, parents, I would like to sum up by saying a very famous quote: change is the only constant in life. One's ability to adapt to those changes will determine your success in life. With this note, I would like to thank all the parents who are present here for listening so patiently, and thanks to Principal Sir for giving this opportunity to enlighten you on this new education policy. Let us all join in to welcome this new policy. Thank you all of you. Good day, God bless, and Jai Hind.